Hello everybody, my name's Jack, and recently I've added a new engine to my fleet. This Lionel Postwar 238 Scout locomotive. The Scout series was a long-running line of low-price but high-quality train sets for people who didn't want to spend too much to run their trains. This engine was made in 1964 and was one of the last Scout locomotives ever made. This one is number 238 and has a liquid smoke unit, unlike most post-war steamers, and it has a plastic body, which is pretty interesting because they didn't do that for many of the post-war trains. They did it for some of the diesels, I think, and then they did it for some of the late steam engines, which this is one of. That also helped bring down the price even more in the price of production, which is good because Lionel wasn't doing so good in the 60s. All the kids at the time, since spaceships were the new thing, they wanted spaceships and slot cars because cars were getting really cool at the time. So, these were very important to keep the company afloat, and if it weren't for the Scout series, I bet they wouldn't have made it through the 60s. There is a very good chance of that. But, as for this locomotive, it looks very nice and is very impressive for the time period. I bought this engine in 2018 in a lot of quite a bit of post-war stuff from a guy on Craigslist. He was selling the lot for $50 and it included the engine, the tender, a good deal of tubular track, this helicopter car with no helicopter, exploding boxcar, missile launching car to blow up the boxcar, and some trestles and other things like that. But the engine I only got running the other day. I was inspired to fix this engine because Connor That Rail Fan, go check his channel out, got a Lionel 246 Scout locomotive just the other day. So I decided, mine hasn't run in the time that I've had it, it's time to fix it. So I got right to work on it. Now, if you've worked on post-war Lionel locomotives in the past, then you probably know exactly what the main problem was with this engine and why it wasn't working. Dirty brushes. They were so filthy, you wouldn't even believe it. They were covered in grease and gunk, they were corroded from years of being in a box in someone's basement, and it was so bad that if I wasn't using alcohol to clean it, it probably still wouldn't be working. And don't worry about the rods being missing, they were like that when I bought it. Another thing that wasn't working was the smoke unit. That was mainly because it wasn't grounded to this part right here, this newly shined with a magic eraser panel. It says, built by the Lionel Corporation, New York, New York. That's interesting. That's very cool. And the smoke unit is a liquid smoke unit just like the Pennsylvania Flyer. In fact, the smoke even smells a lot like the Pennsylvania Flyer's smoke. Just sort of an electricity smell to it at the same time. And I think there is a small hole somewhere because just like the Pennsylvania Flyer had a problem with before, it is seeping smoke out from underneath the bottom. But that's not really a big problem because that makes it extra realistic and cool. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, let's see it run. I don't really know about the manual reverser right here. I think something is actually wrong with it, and I'll open up the main assembly part at some point, but not right now because I don't know anything about that. I've got plenty of smoke gathered up in the stack now, so I can show you the smoke. I'm pushing on the flapper with the key, and it runs away. As I was saying, before it tried to run away and hide in the tunnel, I was pushing on the flapper with a Q-tip because it doesn't have any rods to push the smoke out itself. Now, as far as things I would like to fix about this engine further, mostly the manual reverser, it's acting up, as I said. The whistle is sort of rattly and everything. Sorry, my whistle button is a little bit stuck. But that is what's going on with this. I think And of course, I'm going to add some drive rods, because then it can smoke on its own on the move, and it'll look great. I think this is going to be the best smoker in my fleet, besides, of course, the fan-driven awesomeness of the SD70. So that just about does it for this video. Just wanted to show you this engine and how it's running, especially since I haven't really shown it on my channel in the past. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications whenever I post. And go check out Connor That Railfan's video about his 246 Scout locomotive, link in the description. That's it for now. Jack the Railfan signing out.